How's it going, guys? Welcome to the bonus episode of Polymuse. Unfortunately, these tracks that we're covering today are not available on Spotify. We will have links in the description so you can listen along like we always do. Drop the songs in and out. We're going to act like we are dropping the songs in and out because we recorded the podcast earlier. So when we get to those sections, go ahead and just check them out on YouTube if you want to. Love you.
Here we go. Polymuse bonus episode. We got a Japanese bonus track for you, and that means you get an extra episode this week, a bonus episode about the very one, very only Johnny. My name is Ben. This is my co-host, Michael. Tell him what's up, Michael.
Hello. Not to confuse anyone, it is in English.
It is in English. Hello, my name is Johnny.
My name is Roger.
And we're bringing you one of the craziest goofball, off-the-wall, System of a Down tracks. This is a weird song, Michael, and this is one of the ones that was the first round of songs that you and I downloaded together as cousins as we were downloading music, getting into the game, into the scene, listening to this kind of music, heavy music, alternative music, radio rock, whatever you want to call it. Johnny was up there with the greats. What do you remember about Johnny?
I remember thinking that it was a song, it was one of my favorites when it first came out. I'm not sure if it's quite there now,
Okay.
but just the kind of nonsensical, from the moment he comes in with, hello, my name is Johnny, it's very much, of course, like an ode to
Here's Johnny.
Yeah, very much like an ode to the talk show and something wasn't necessarily hearing in music at the time when first exploring and picking around and spinning around on stuff. So it was a very unique track and how it was presented.
Serge is a crazy person. Like, there are multiple personalities displayed on this track. It's fiction, but it's just an out there performance. He's Johnny, he's Roger, he's different people talking at the same time, taking over his own body. I love this song. This is a riff to it. It's strange that it was left off. It's strange that it's a Japanese bonus track that's in the middle of an album instead of at the end of the album. For whatever reason, they put it in the middle of the track list, maybe just because it just belongs in there. I don't know why we were robbed as Americans. We weren't really, because we just had full access to whatever the pirates may or may not have provided to us. But
Right.
Johnny's a good one, dude. It shows the true power of Serge as an actor, as a front man, as a force of entertainment.
Yep, it was track number 8 on the Japanese version, so that pushed everything down one slot on the United States release. Speculation could be that it is, as you stated, referring to multiple personalities. One possibly a narcissist kind of controlling the way. And the way that the track kind of echoes instrumentally, the zaniness of what's going on in his head, possibly two personalities, I think is a great portrayal.
The guitar, yeah, zany, good word for it. He does the call and response with himself, just again showing the different, the different multiple personalities. A lot of bands will have the different vocalists do the call and response. He just goes back and forth with himself. The bass playing is amazing. He's right in the pocket. You get that needly guitar playing, the delicious Darren guitar playing. They play so tight, dude. I know I brag on them as a power trio. It's a great, perfect example of it. It's tough to fill out the space, but the way he's playing the cymbals, the way that they've crafted the riff itself to allow, Serge as a vocalist to just play around and do whatever he needs to do. They're just right in the pocket, dude. It's not something that you take for granted when you hear it and you just, zero in on the vocalist. This is a tight record, and I give it an A+.
A+. Oh, I did not expect that.
It's good, dude. It's Johnny.
I gave it a B. I give it a solid B.
Not a bad grade for a bonus B-side. You don't love it, though.
It's something that I do come back to from time to time, but no, it's not one of my super favorite songs to come back to. Something about the chorus instrumentally, it just doesn't get me as much as some of their other songs.
You got Serge double-tracked with himself, I believe. It gets more intense towards the end. It's written well. It doesn't have like all the different bridge sections put in there as some System of a Down songs have, where they switch up the style so drastically on the bridge. But it's a tight little package. It's a tight little punk rocker. It slays. Johnny, I think of this one. Bounce, Johnny, and Shimmy for some reason all go together in my mind as just kind of their party songs, their club songs, the type of songs where it's just like all the way energy to the wall, like goofball carnival music, and it's what other band? There's so many bands that are so serious. There's so many of these guys at the time where System of a Down, they just didn't care. They didn't care if you thought it was funny or creepy or you thought there was a metaphor or you thought there wasn't a metaphor. They mix stuff like this right alongside stuff where they're trying to get a political message across. That's art. Are they artists at that point? Are they weirdos at that point? I mean, Johnny, what does it mean to you besides the multiple personalities? Can we take a deeper look, or is it kind of just them going nuts with a cool riff, cool idea of a character?
Well, the repeated chorus, let me show you the ways of mine. Let me show you the ways of mine. Let me help you explain your mind when I help you explain your mind. So again, it could be just a note of manipulation. We've certainly seen that theme echoed through System of a Down, whether it's manipulation through government, organized religion, number of different pathways. So you can certainly take the kind of repeated choruses. Hello, my name is Roger. Well, hello, my name is Roger. Proclaim myself a god and likely ordain myself. You can take that a couple different ways. It could be a higher figure presenting themselves, or, it could be taken a number of different ways. So again, very much open to interpretation. One interpretation is it is multiple personalities, or manipulation, as we've seen a common theme through System of a Down. Good writing, because it does echo what we're doing lyrically. And I don't think the repeated chorus hurts the song structure, but again, not necessarily one that particularly appeals to me.
He don't love Johnny, ladies and gentlemen.
So an A+ on Johnny for you, and a B for me. So we had this song, in 2001, we downloaded it with a bunch of other songs, as we've noted several times on this podcast. Also in 2001, the iPod was first released, iTunes Media Player was released, and XM Sirius Radio was actually launched as well.
Wild.
Yeah, so we started to get our first iPods right around this time. Not iPods, but MP3 players. I remember mine were some weird devices. The first one I had was a big square, like a brick, heavy thing. Tiny little screen, could only fit so many songs on it.
One album.
Yeah, and then I had another weird, it's called like a Rio something, just a weird, oddly shaped thing. We'll post some pictures online, but just some weird contraptions before we got to basically an MP3 player in your phone now at this point.
Took them a while. Yeah, now you can just, Spotify gives you an MP3 player with every song, essentially, but for years there, you'd have to rip CDs or download music, convert it all down, convert it onto the device, plug your headphones in, a separate device from your phone. Took a long time to combine the devices into a singular thing that you would then carry around. I didn't like iPods at the time. I always tried to find some alternative device to hold my music. I wanted more storage. I wanted more ability to store different file types that weren't just iTunes. So I always had some alternative piece of tech that was not an Apple product, but there was a lot of weird stuff at the time that would hold MP3s or hold WAV files and do playback. And eventually it gets to the point where your phone can just do everything.
Besides the first iPod release, you remember they made a big deal when it was the video iPod? Eventually got my hands on one of those where you could download music videos and now watch them on your iPod, which is so foreign now that your phone does all of that, but that was a big deal at the time.
Probably podcasting in general, and now it's gotten to the point where it has nothing to do with iPods, but it was that original technology where it would deliver the next episode straight to your device, and now we're doing this, and now it's called Polymuse, folks. The best podcast you've ever heard. That was a little bonus episode for you. Got the bonus track, Japanese bonus track in there. Can't forget them. I won't forget them. We're going to do every song they ever recorded in the order that they were released, because System of a Down is on our list. The bands that changed our lives, the bands that mean something to me and my cousin here. My name's Ben. This is Michael here, and he's going to bring it on home and tell you where you should go on the social medias.
We're on Facebook at Polymuse Podcast, Instagram Polymuse Podcast, and you won't guess what we're under on TikTok, Polymuse Podcast.
We got a regular episode coming up for you next time. We're still got plenty of Toxicity for you, several more songs to cover. We're gonna hit them all, folks. System of a Down, heavy dose. Strap in for System of a Down class, because we got plenty more lessons ahead.
We're gonna take you for a spin. Check us out next time.